Hi guys, it is Lucid Layla, and today I want to talk about a topic of unrealistic dreams, something that is on my mind or in my heart for a very long time, and I feel it's time to open up about it and to share my personal experience to basically give your life the opportunity to jumpstart everything that you ever wished for, and not let everybody or anybody taint your vision of what's possible and what's not possible. So this is going to be a little bit of a story time because it really started, early on in my life where I was a kid, and I don't even know why, but my parents, they really appreciated, a kid that was able to clean up well and, tidy up everything perfectly fine. And for whatever reason, I didn't really fit into that framework. And I got really tired of it and frustrated. And since I wasn't patient, never really patient at all, I just, I think I was 5 or 6 or something. I just said something in a really, ignorant way, something like along those lines of, you know what, I don't even care because later on, it's not going to matter for my life because I'm just going to live in America somewhere next to the beach, and I'm going to have someone clean my house because that's how it's going to be. And I said that several times, in my childhood, growing up in what used to be the former eastern part of Germany, in a society, in a culture where, first of all, I didn't even know how things go on the west coast of the United States. I was a child. I wasn't really exposed to lots of media. And, it was just a very, reactive sentence that I threw at my parents, but a couple of times, and I specified it. I'm going to live in a big house in the United States, next to the beach. And for whatever reason, that kept staying with me. And then I did a road trip in 2008 when I actually visited the United States with my dad, and it was so beautiful. It was the most beautiful vacation that I've ever done, and I was so sad when we had to leave. And I remember sitting somewhere like in Newport Beach on the beach and saying to myself, I am going to come back. I want to live here, maybe if it's just for half a year, for an internship or an exchange year or something like that. And I made that promise to myself. And at that time, again, I was in 10th grade. It sounded completely ridiculous. I haven't figured out a plan how or whatever, but there was this determination inside of me that I wanted to live in California, one of the most expensive places on this planet, unfortunately. Very beautiful, but also very competitive. And but it was so motivating for me. I saw, we visited New York City too, and I saw, people that are successful in their careers, they can afford to travel, they can afford to go to different cities, they can afford to live in these nice places. And it was so different from where I was coming from, where there was nothing going on. For the kind of career stuff that I want to do, there wouldn't even be, interesting jobs. All this stuff, the real stuff happens here in California, or in the United States, in the headquarters of those big companies where, the real stuff happens. So anyhow, that's when I made my second promise to myself, for sure, this time I'm really going to come back. And then literally 5 years passed, and in 2013, all of a sudden this opportunity opens up where, my dad tells me about this company in California that he knows, and he's friends with one of the people that works there who would enable me to do an internship there, because I was looking for an internship, and I was like, well, I don't care what it is. If it's in California, of course I'm in. It's paradise. I would do anything. So, in 2013, I made it, and I came back to do an internship in California. And at that time when I was in 10th grade, to utter such a thing, I want to come back to the US, it was so unrealistic. it was also financially, you know, impossible really. Like I didn't even know how this would have worked, and I wouldn't want, you know, this to be a burden for my parents, and you know, they wouldn't even be capable in the first place at that time. So it was such a utterly bold, unrealistic, weird dream that I uttered, and you know, people could really scold you for that kind of thing, like, you know. And I think I, you know, had a lot of encounters where people told me, Lena, you know, it's not cool, what are you doing, you have all those big dreams, better be careful that you're not going to be very disappointed one day, you know. And I can literally just laugh, because yes, if you have that mindset that it's not possible, and if you think like that your whole life, you're never gonna get chance like this. Or if those opportunities arise, you're gonna pass them off, you know. And that's the ultimate formula for failure and for unhappiness. If there's something that you really want, but you give up before you even try, I get angry just thinking about it, you know. But anyways, so in 2013, I came back and I took that dream and I made it real life. And for 6 months, you know, I experienced what was then, you know, the best time of my life, like of my whole life. It was literally those 6 months, they were better than the last 8 years combined for me. It was such a strong feeling and conviction, and oh gosh, everything that I thought used to be one of my weaknesses, where I came from, all of a sudden turned into a hyper strength, and everyone would, you know, clap and, you know, be happy to see those traits of me, you know, flourish. And it was weird. It was everything that I touched worked out perfectly fine. And, you know, I was so lucky and blessed to get this internship opportunity, which also paid me, you know, a salary, and I was able to have a car and a place, and I didn't have to pay for this experience. It just came, you know, from the universe, from wherever. And it was beautiful. So after those 6 months, I said, okay, like, I need to come back. I need to come back for sure. Like, I want to stay here longer than just 6 months. I wanna get those experiences again. And at that time I was still finishing up my undergrad, and gosh, it was crazy, you know. I fought so hard. I tried a lot of things to just come back, and you know, I applied for jobs and I looked into schools and stuff like that. And finally, after my degree was done, I applied for this one school, and it's not even that there was a plan B, you know. I don't have a plan B. There's really no desire for me to, you know, come back to a place that doesn't even have any opportunities for me. And I don't feel the sense of, you know, oh yeah, that's right, that feels good. No, I know that, you know, there's something greater waiting for me. And no matter how hard it's gonna be, no matter how many, you know, setbacks or roadblocks someone's gonna put in front of me, I will make sure that with the right amount of preparation and determination and passion, you know, everything is possible. And again, it's not easy, you know, and it wasn't easy, but it worked out. And in 2015 I came back, and since then my life again has never been as happy as now. In fact, just the last 4 months have been so crazy, so many good changes, you know. I moved even crazier, you know, from SoCal to NorCal, and although there's, you know, a lot of complications going on still, and, you know, there's always this uncertainty of what's going to happen and what's going on and how is this going to turn out. It just feels amazing that, you know, you're given certain opportunities and you can take them. And I guess the bottom line is, never in my life have I ever not asked ridiculous questions. Never in my life have I ever dreamt small. Never in my life have I ever listened to other people telling me what's, you know, not possible because they don't think I'm capable, or they don't think I'm persistent enough, or they don't think, you know, it's realistic. Because what is realistic is really what is realistic to you. And no matter how unrealistic something, you know, seems, there is no such thing as something being realistic, you know? If you're determined enough to not give up and try every possible way to get to your goal, you know, then you're gonna succeed in the end. And there is no failure because you gave your best. And you know, if something really doesn't work out, if it just doesn't work, okay, all right, but you gave it your best. So I don't know, I still think there's a thing called the luck of the hardworking, and that's what I always refer to. You know, I really live that on a day-to-day basis, and I think if you have that mindset, like, so many opportunities will open up. You know, you just really need to find your passion and then go for it. And I think it's sad that so many people, they settle for something less than they actually want to. They settle for, you know, something below their own expectations. They settle for something that they think that their parents want them to do, and then they're surprised how they're depressed after a couple of years and how they're unhappy. And I think that's something that I want to prevent you guys from doing. You know, never ever listen to someone else giving you an opinion and telling you what is right if it's really different to what your heart says. You know, always listen to your heart and dream big. Like, don't think small. It's thinking small is gonna get you into where everyone wants to be. Those small goals of a boring life in a cubicle for a random company till the rest of your life, so just you can save up for your retirement that you're never gonna enjoy because you're gonna be sick or maybe already dead. And in the end, you've never lived, you know, and that's not the goal. The goal is to be mindful and happy along the way and do something that you exactly want, or at least, like, you know, that's, you know, close enough to keep you happy even on the way, and not to compromise for anybody. So that's my really strong message for today. Sorry for all the rambling. But that's something I wanted to get out. And, you know, it's about dreaming. It's about what this channel is about. It's about the bigger picture. I think just as the rules of lucid dreaming apply to real life, you know, I think I can put my hand through the wall, and all of a sudden I can put my hand through the wall in a lucid dream when I'm conscious. And in real life, obviously, we still have, you know, the rules of physics. But when it comes to, you know, psychological or societal structures, if you put your mind on something, things are so complex, and if you keep pursuing and communicating about your passions, and if you keep pursuing it in a way, there's so many complex, intricate rules that work underneath what you see, that sometimes you're not able to comprehend why something is working or how something is working, but it will work out for you. And you know, there's so many people that will help you along your way subconsciously, just because they feel that that you're a good person, or that it will be really beneficial. And those are the things that make real dreams also really happen, if you try to understand the rules of how dreams work during lucid dreaming, but also in real life. And that's the message I want to put across, and I hope that stuff resonates with you guys. I understand if it was a little bit complicated. If you're still unsure about what I wanted to say, you know, let me know in the comments below. But if this at all, like, made sense to you and it touched you, or maybe made a good difference in your life, please let me know. I would love to, you know, start a conversation about this. Like, what were your experiences in your life? Have you had similar situations where you felt like, yeah, we need to ask the most badass question, we need to ask the most ridiculous dreams, and only then will we, you know, be good enough, because we have enough drive to actually pursue this goal, instead of, you know, boring life goals that no one really wants, but they just shoot for it because that's the, you know, remainder of what, you know, they thought was possible. Yeah, in other words, stay lucid, stay conscious, and stay tuned on my channel by subscribing, hitting that red subscribe button to see more videos, you know, about cool stuff on consciousness and help and self-help, life improvement, and also suggest if you have a cool idea for a new video. Until then, see you next week. Bye.